Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Dorks, the TTRPG channel of BP Fun. I am Voices, here to DM our brand new campaign, Allandia. Right now, we are doing the Prologues, splitting the party up so that they can develop a little bit of chemistry prior to bringing on a 6-player party. As I've said before, I am Voices, and I'm just going to run through the cast real quick so we can get into Session 1 Prologue. Voices. Zeus. There we go.
Hey guys, Zeus here. I play Zemet. He's a rogue swashbuckler with a complicated past, like most D&D characters, if we're gonna be completely honest. Coming off of a nice sea adventure, if you will, and looking for something new. Looking for a nice change of pace.
All right, and Magic?
Hey, I'm Magic. I'm playing as Millie. She's just a nice southern girl, halfling, monk. And when she's not fighting bad guys and slaying dragons, she's busy probably baking pies or biscuits, you name it, and just, taking care of everybody by keeping everybody's bellies full and blades sharp, hopefully.
And Spoonier, right? That's Spoonier?
Yes, sir. Or Spoon,
Okay.
either one.
Gotcha.
I am Spoon or Spoonier. I'll be playing our quite giant dragonborn. He's a sorcerer named Thorrin Fireclaw. He has quite a rocky past. I'll just say that we'll be able to see more into him as we go with the story.
All
Take it away.
right, solid. So, those are the introductions, and this is the campaign, so we're going to get right into it. We are going to start off tonight's session in a town called Urlantir. Urlantir. Still a funky one for me. Urlantir sits on a very... it's a coastal city that sits... with a little peninsula, and where we are specifically is Old Urlantir, which is at the very tip, right on the edge, where it kind of juts into the ocean. Urlantir is the old part of this entire city. Very classic looking, most of it's overgrown with some type of sea moss. It's very old wood, constantly cracking, creaking, and just pretty much on its last legs because of the amount of seawater that has constantly hit it over the many years that it's been there. We zero in on a old weather-beaten tavern where the exterior is definitely showing its age. Building's made of dark stone and driftwood, and it kind of gives it a rustic, almost haunted look. A sign hangs above the door, depicting a lantern half submerged in water, with its flames still flickering. The wood is faded and warped by years of exposure to the salty sea air, and a tangle of seawood occasionally wraps around the entrance after high tide. Below this shows the name, the Drowned Lantern. As we look into this abode, patrons are greeted by the scent of salt water, old wood, and the faint tang of fish stew simmering in the back. The interior is dimly lit, with only a few oil lamps casting flickering light against the stone walls. The low ceilings are supported by thick wooden beams and make the space feel cozy, yet somewhat claustrophobic. Floors uneven, made of old wooden planks that creak every step you take. The walls are adorned with faded nautical charts, rustic ship wheels, and even old harpoons, some with questionable stains and rusting, hinting at the tavern's deep connection to the city's seafaring past. A large cracked lantern hangs from the center of the ceiling, casting an eerie glow that always sways within the wind. The bar is made of a dark oak, scarred with many marks of countless knives and tankards, slammed and heated arguments, and possible fights. The barkeep sits, a grizzled, one-eyed woman with a rough demeanor, but a soft spot for travelers. The shelves are lined with dusty bottles of storm brew rum, Selkarn's Delight. And the seating's mismatched chairs and tables, many of which are bolted to the floor to prevent them from being tipped over or thrown. In one corner, there's a small fireplace that struggles to provide warmth, with driftwood logs cracking in the flames. We zero in on the bar. The three of you are sitting there waiting for your ship to be ready for the long voyage across the Selkarn Bay. Captain Alira Voss is who you're waiting for. So we're gonna just zero right in on you guys. Whoever wants to start, go right ahead. Interact with the environment before you. You've got countless different characters amongst the crews lined within here. People that 4 or 5, possibly 10 plus drinks in, and many, many smells of fish-related food scattered amongst.
So we're on the same table, right? Like we're all...
Yeah, you guys are sitting at the bar.
Yep. And we know that we're all going to be going on the same ship.
Yeah, you guys were all given pretty much a manifest. Well, you guys all had to give a manifest to the barkeep, and the barkeep took it, gave it off to Alira, and so now Alira is gathering the ship, building it all together so that all of her crew's ready, and like if you guys had luggage of some kinds, those were getting already packed. So now you're kind of just waiting it out in the Drowned Lantern, just kind of buying time until Alira comes forward to grab you guys.
How do you spell Alira?
Elira, and it's Voss like the water, Voss.
That's good stuff.
I misspelled.
You're good.
I'm going to raise my hand and kind of motion for the barkeep to come over.
Okay. So right over to you comes a very interesting looking person. Grizzled human in her 50s, deep set sea green eyes that seem to kind of almost look through you. She's got a rough, very weathered face marked with years of exposure to salt wind and hard living. Most striking feature is the patch over her left eye. Her remaining eye is sharp and constantly darting, missing nothing that happens in her tavern. Got really tangled mess of gray hair with streaks tied back into a with a strip of faded blue cloth. She wears a simple, functional, kind of worn leather vest over a linen shirt, heavy boots that have definitely seen better days. Long, jagged scar runs along her right forearm, and she walks with a limp. So she walks over to you and...
So what do you want? I don't got all day, honey. What are we feeling today?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
The fish stew that I ordered is pretty sure that's not fish.
It's fish.
That looks like a finger in that. If
Fish have fingers. You ever heard of a fish fingers?
No, ma'am.
That's it. Nope, it's there.
I've lived on the
promise
sea
ya.
for quite a long time. That's not a real thing, okay? That looks like a human finger.
Well, I don't control what gets thrown in there. That's up to the cooks.
Mom, all I want is just a new fish stew to go about my evening, okay? It's pretty sure that finger has some kind of disease. It's green, and I don't mean in a racist sense. I just mean it's human up until that particular joint.
All right.
And like she grabs the bowl, but it's like 3 fingers in the side of the bowl. It just picks it right up. Like her fingers went in that bowl. It's probably the same way it got thrown down in front of you. And then she just she grabs a tankard and just starts immediately pouring you an entire thing of Captain's Brew right in front of you. Actually, Selkarn's Delight, just right in front of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Enjoy.
You have a lovely voice.
Yeah, I've heard. All of my lovers say the same.
I'm sorry, lovers? Plural?
Yeah, I get around.
How around are we talking?
Enough. I'll say that. We don't need to go in depth.
I take a sip, like, with my spoon, take a sip of the stew. It's like, you have my curiosity.
Well, just keep drinking that, and it'll drown your worries. I got other customers, okay?
And so she's probably gonna shuffle over a little bit. Who would be next? Like, who would be? What are we feeling here? Who wants to?
I think as she's kind of bustling away, Millie will speak up a minute. She'll be like, "Excuse me, honey. Do you have just a minute? I don't really do much for the alcohols, but do you have like just a nice tea? That would be great. Even better if it had just a little sweet in it.
We got seaweed tea.
I mean, sure, I'll try anything, but do you happen to have any like just a little sugar bowl? I can try to sweeten it up a bit."
Sugar doesn't go with fish. We got salt.
Well, that does be a problem then. I don't think. Never mind. I think a glass of water would just be fine.
There's probably gonna be seaweed in it. Is that okay?
You know, it's probably is that why you have a nice complexion there? Does the seaweed help with your natural moisturized skin?
Oh yeah. Every night it's 5 strips this way, 5 strips down, and I just let it sit there until it slops off in the middle of the night.
All right, five horizontal, 5 vertical. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. But yeah, some seaweed water.
If you weave it in like a lattice, it sits better sometimes. It'll last longer, and then it will slap off later. So then you get more into the pores.
All right, lattice it together like you and your lovers. I got it.
Oh yes, yeah. You know, honey. You know what's. I'll look for some water without some seaweed. I got you, honey.
Oh, thank you, sugar.
So she walks away.
Do I hear this conversation? Like, obviously?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you guys are like within probably about a seat or two, and you guys.
We're just next to each other.
Yeah, I would say like you guys know you're on the same ship, so there might be a part of you that's like, do I want to ignore them and just stay ignoring, or do I have to like interact so that the voyage across isn't horrible? Because it's like you have seen the boat. This boat comfortably sleeps maybe 8, and you know that the crew is 5, so you're 3 additional. And there is one other gentleman that has said that he's going to be on the voyage as well, so it's going to get some tight quarters. Definitely looks like it's not a split below deck. Like it's not sectioned off areas. That's it, if it gets.
I'm just gonna mumble to myself like, Jimmy told me I should try with the ladies more, and then just sip some more of the freaking fish stew.
Yeah.
Honey, you say something over there?
Oh, that's a bone. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Wipes off the spit. Z-Met, nice to meet you.
Oh, it's lovely to make your acquaintance. You can call me Millie.
Nice to meet you, Millie. I like drop the accent. I'm just like, so, what you doing here? What you coming on board for?
Why is it a secret?
Well, I don't trust a lot of people down in this city, specifically in this area. I'm sure that's why you notice I got the fake accent. I don't do much with these people around here. So I'm just curious, we gonna be sharing the same boat, so, I gotta know what's your business.
Would it make you feel better if I told you my accent was fake too? Because it ain't.
I would be more suspicious if your accent was fake, actually. Seems very
so
authentic.
You're suspicious of people that are like yourself. That's pretty telling, isn't it?
Look, anyways, Z-Met's the name. I'm just gonna keep eating or drinking. I'm gonna continue consuming this fish stew. I hope it's fish. And, yeah.
I mean, you're braver than I am. I wasn't gonna touch
I'm gonna be
touch
honest
that
with
stew
you.
myself.
To be honest
but
with you, I haven't had a thing to eat for 3 days and 4 nights. All right, it's been a long journey. It's been a long
Morna
journey.
comes back over with the glass. Goes,
Are you fasting?
I am not.
I am. Oh, is he or am I?
Wait, who's fasting? Are you fasting?
Well, you. I'm confused. Here's your water. I did find some without seaweed. I wouldn't ask where it came from, but it doesn't have seaweed in it. So
You know, sometimes I love to just count my blessings and not ask too many questions. Thank you. And what was your name? My name?
Morna.
Lorna?
Morna. As in
Morna.
more of me is what the men want.
Oh, like a mortar.
Morna.
Oh,
As in more for them and none for ya. Okay?
I'm sorry. It's a thing my buddy's having me do.
You got something else you want to complain about? Huh?
You know what? I'm just
Did you
gonna...
find another bone in there? Because you know fishes have bones.
I actually did find a bone. It's funny.
Yeah?
It's
Let
funny
me
you
see
mentioned
it.
that.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
I take like from my napkin. It's like an entire rib cage of a fish, and I'm like, I found this.
Have you ever heard of bone broth?
I was just gonna say a good
Wait,
bone.
hold up a
You
second.
have to get all the
Hold up a
nutrients and flavor
second.
out of the bone.
I was not told this was bone broth. I thought this was just fish stew, like fish
Now just
flavor.
eat your soup and stop complaining. Morna's got more important things to do.
What is going on in this? This is why.
Here for your
I hate
time,
this.
sweetheart. And I'm gonna just toss her a silver.
oh, nice. She picks it up and she goes,
Oh, I'll be spending this with the gentleman later.
and just goes away. She pockets it right into her bosom.
I
Goes nowhere
push my bowl
A woman's
forward.
Natural purse.
I push my bowl forward and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and excuse myself. And I just go and get some fresh air, go to a walk. And as I do so, I bump into freaking Spooner's character. And I just like, oh, sorry about that.
Hey,
Oh my
don't
gosh.
be getting a little too aggressive with me now. I've been running.
I stop in my tracks and I walk, like take a step forward. Like, has anyone told you you got the voice of an angel?
Yes, I have, okay?
Listen,
Don't
Mortar.
need to add more in here.
Mortar. All right,
Gosh.
that's not. I wasn't talking to you.
No.
Morna!
Maury, listen. I was talking to this gentleman. I'm not hitting on you,
I'm not
bro.
a father. I'm not a mother. Don't be calling me Maury. None of that.
Mickey,
Morna.
okay, Mickey, listen, I was talking to him, and I was, like I said, Matt, not trying to hit on you. I'm just saying, dope voice. I'm just saying. If I ever wanted to die and have someone speak at my funeral, it'd be you. That's all I'm saying.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't go to your funeral.
You know what, Mickey? I thought we were friends, alright? I thought we were friends. But it's alright, I get it. Love takes time. Don't worry. I ain't giving up on you. And I back out and leave the tower.
Morna looks at both of you and is just like,
Get a load of that weirdo.
They certainly come in all shapes and sizes around here. Speaking of sizes, look at this. Look at this tall dragonborn fella. I mean, he's probably 3 times my size. And
Yeah, you're a little one.
Millie's gonna stand up on her chair to see if she can reach, to measure how tall he is while he's sitting down.
I just continue drinking my mead.
oh gosh.
Well, how tall are you?
Well, I believe they measure me around the 7 feet.
Well, yeah, that'd be about 3 times what I would measure up, but you heading out on the ship too?
Well, yes. I believe I am looking to build my strength.
Yeah, I don't know how much building of the strength you need to do anymore, but it looks like we're gonna be traveling some tight quarters along with that bone soup fella too.
During a majority of this, Morna has been like leaning over the bar and is like slowly like just pressing your biceps and like running a finger along. Is just like,
Honey. Red makes me see red.
Why? Morna. Listen.
Oh, there's more for you. I'll tell you that.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Zeus got shut down so fast.
Dude.
He started off critiquing.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm
I literally, what's hilarious is there's a part, so I have a personality for her, and it legit says, like, if someone manages to earn her respect, they'll find her to be a loyal ally who can provide valuable information. So, like, you lost it instant. Like,
it was a
so
figure.
gone.
Zemet's not the greatest people person. It's
Yeah.
something he's working on. It's
Also-
it's a flaw.
I did realize, did you guys give descriptions of yourselves?
No.
No.
So,
Millie is still standing on her chair, by the way. She's
Yeah.
still.
I think Millie was described. So, real quick, Zemet, describe yourself, because I think people need to know how you look. 'Cause
Okay,
there are some very key things.
So what was my? Okay. I'm a fetchling. So I got white skin, golden eyes, no pupils, handlebar mustache. I'm like 6 feet tall, and I have a rapier at my side, wearing basically like typical Jack Sparrow-esque outfit with a hat.
What color's the mustache?
Oh, it's black. Like I got deep black hair, and
What kind of mustache is
the
it?
regular hair underneath the hat's like slick back. Is that the correct term for it?
Oh, I gotcha.
And what kind of hat?
Just I think the thing is, I
Or like
usually
a
get.
tricone.
It's usually whatever hat I
Ooh.
feel I like the
Ooh,
best.
I like that.
So I take whoever's hat is better.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
So you're a
I
thief.
don't wear a hat.
I'm not a
Okay.
thief. I just take from the defeated.
He's a spoils
won't
guy,
need
you know?
this no more. They won't need that.
Hey, the dead don't need no
Scout,
shoes.
Teeth, hat, you know.
Oh god.
I'm just built different.
Oh Lord have mercy. So Morna's kind of just like walking around generally and stuff. There's a couple of people that are a little bit farther down that, like, as she's walking, one guy like tries to reach out and, like, you know, cop a feel, and she just like full bowl with a glass in hand cracks it right over his head.
She's like, that's not for you, honey. You ain't paid, so I ain't giving.
And walks away.
And what does
My.
what does Spoon's character look like? I know Dragonborn, but you mentioned is he red scales or?
Yeah. He is a red scale, you know, deep amber eyes, tall, muscular dude, strong draconic presence,
Strong.
pretty much very sharp, elongated claws. His horns go backwards instead of being, you know, the usual standard.
Are they like
What was your
a
character's
goat
name again?
spiral?
No, they just like slick back
Oh.
kind of, and then they point upwards at the end.
Okay.
What was
Does
your
he- wait,
character's
does he have
name
a
again? I'm
tail?
sorry.
Valorant,
Yes, he has
isn't
a
it?
tail. Yeah,
I'm just gonna Google
a
this.
long tail, a very long tail.
long tail.
Well, at least it's almost standard.
All right.
And Millie is she's a halfling, so she's probably half the size of Zima and a third of Thalrin's. She's got long blonde curls and bright blue eyes, and she's wearing like a little blue dress with yellow polka dots on it.
I have to ask, is she
And
like your mom?
shoes that are
Heck yeah.
totally not appropriate for sailing. Like she's wearing like a nice like classic pump
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
with like about 4 inches. She's trying to get gain a little bit of height, but it really makes hardly any difference.
This is such mom vibes.
Well, I think
Not a mom. She's just a proper lady.
Oh god, so great.
We're an
okay.
interesting group.
Yes, very much so. So like you guys can kind of see around. I mean, it's a pretty packed night. This is kind of like what you'd kind of call like a weekend type of vibe. At least the start of it. Well, No, the voyage usually takes about 3 days across, and you guys are getting there, and then that's kind of the weekend. So really, this is kind of middle of the day, but it's way busier than it should be. Everyone's kind of getting amped up. Sherstow, this isn't part of the Kingdom of Sherstow. This is across the whole bay. So it's actually like a different, it's a different country altogether. However, they're still used to it. I believe it's Greshler. Yeah, Greshler is where Allandia is in. So you see people still kind of getting a little bit more amped up about it because Sherstow is such a big kingdom in the adjacent area. What's your guys' passive perceptions? What do we got here?
11.
13.
11, 13. What you got there, Thal?
Oh goodness, I can't even see it. Oh, 10.
10. Okay. So Zeus, you're kind of. Zemet's kind of looking around, kind of after. Well, he went outside. As you went outside, you did notice that like there are kind of like sectioned off booths. They have some like drapes across them. Most of them are still open. There's a couple of them that are a little bit more covered. Probably where people want to go to stay a little bit more quiet. Besides that, everybody else kind of just is running amok. When you go outside, so this is like the building looks like it's wedged into this alley. Like it's a very like shotgun-esque type of bar. And when you come out, it's like there's barely any space on the right, there's barely any space on the left, and then it's like 15 feet to the edge right before the water. So when you come out, you can kind of like see and smell all the different sounds that are coming through. There's ships coming in and out. It is still a very popular port city because of the things that they're able to kind of export and import. So yeah. So what are you guys feeling? Anything else you guys want to?
You said there was
I
some
think
booths
Millie's-
outside? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Millie's gonna sip on her water without seaweed, and she's gonna get out her playing card set and just set up like a solitaire on the table.
All right.
And
Respect.
she's just gonna.
Sit there and play a little bit. Okay. What were you gonna say, Zeus?
I was just double checking. You said there was booths over out in the distance, correct? That people are like.
They're
kind
in
of,
the. It's inside of the drowned lantern. It's
Okay.
like, so essentially the bar sits like all the way across on one wall. The booths are on the back of the building, and there's about 4 or 5 of them. And then it's the other wall. Then the tables are all spread across.
Okay. Can I, from this distance, or maybe just from my knowledge, do I know where a local, like, convenience store would be at, or something where I can get some cigarettes, or the equivalent of cigarettes here?
In Old Allandia, I mean, you might be able to find someone just out on the street. This area is very like old residential type of buildings. There are some shops, but a lot of them have been shut down and condemned because the old portion is kind of falling apart, as is even in the drowned. Like you can see some of these, there's additional posts up to hold it up from it falling apart. So it's not a fantastic area, but they still try to keep it stable for the sake of historical reasons.
Okay. And do I know how long it would be until I need to get summoned, if you will, or come back to this spot?
Alira said that she would come back and like kind of get everyone together, so she won't leave without you, but when she does come back, she'll probably be at one of the booths or at one of the tables there. Give or take probably like 3 or 4 hours. It's not going to be like super fast.
Okay. I am just going to take a walk along the shore. Just kind of just taking in the breeze and the smell of the sea, and slowly but surely kind of distance myself from people.
Okay. You're kind of just walking along. Occasionally you see looks like some Navy guys, like Navy captains of some kind or something along those lines, like talking over a few things. Make a perception. Yeah, make a perception check real quick.
D20?
Yep.
Alright. 14.
Okay. So there's a couple of guys that look...
First roll of the campaign?
First roll!
valid.
Let's go!
That is
Let's
valid.
go!
And it wasn't a critical failure.
It wasn't an unlucky 13. It was
That's
close.
a good sign.
Yes, indeed.
So you see a couple of more seedy looking seafarers kind of sitting along a park, like sitting along a bench that's right up against the edge of the kind of like the cinder edge where it drops off into the ocean. They're kind of talking back and forth, a little bit more hushed, but you do like hear them kind of talking about like a ghost ship of some kind. There's been something like, you're not specific, but like one guy is kind of like, dude, like a while ago, I saw something at night, and he's like, you did? What did you see? He's like, it was like a ship, but I saw through it, man. And he's like, no, was it like a ghost ship? He's like, yeah, and like I saw a dude on it. I didn't see a lot of dudes, but I saw a dude for sure. And he's like, whoa, did you do anything? He's like, I threw a rock and it went through it, bro. It's like, it went through it? Like, did it hit anything? He's like, nah. He's like, and I saw the dude's beady eye. Yeah, like freaking green beady eyes looking at me, man. I swear, I went to sleep after that. He's like, did you drink anything that night? He's like, oh yeah, a lot, but I still saw it. I know it. Well, it's like a maybe. I mean, it could. I'm pretty sure I saw it. I've heard people talk about it too, so it may. My dad saw it. I didn't see all of it, but like. And then, like, he heard it from the guy that was on the crow's nest on our ship. So I didn't see it, but someone on my ship saw it. Yeah. And they're like, whoa. And then they're just talking about, like, really dumb stuff now. Like at one point, he's like, did you sharpen your sword? Like, it's very useless. Like, they're waiting on something that is not coming. And they're probably waiting to try to get onto another ship. And seems like they're probably not in high demand.
I'm gonna give a little smirk to myself, and kind of put my hands in my pockets and just kind of like just keep on walking by after that brief moment of listening.
All right, we want to throw back into the tavern. What are you guys feeling? You guys still just playing solitaire?
I mean, I think Millie's playing solitaire, but she's gotta, keeping an eye on other people's coming and goings and making sure that she doesn't miss the ship. Be paranoid about getting left behind.
Throw a perception check.
Just drinking.
Okay, just drinking, just going full bore to it.
He's fidgeting with his hands with a bit of small fire in his hand. He seems a little anxious.
Okay.
Honey, could you keep that fire away from the cards? This is the only set I have, and they're really custom made. I hand painted them myself.
Understandable. As I switch my hand to bring it away.
Unless you want to join me for some cards. Do you play?
I'm not too much of a person to play those. I don't know how to.
Well, see, I'm a small person. I had to find something that I could be good at, too, so even somebody as big as you, I'd have a fighting chance. I'll teach you how to play if you want to join.
Why, you know what? Sure, why not?
All right. And she's going to just collect all her cards and very kind of adeptly shuffle them and deal out a hand. Well, pick your poison. What do you like? You like, what's the equivalent of poker in this world?
Honestly, I mean, like, we'll call it, man, I don't even know. Maybe like Gambit, like a cards Gambit kind of thing.
Sure.
Especially like being around this area, like Cards Gambit. I'll say that.
Okay, well, I don't know the rules, so just insert here. Millie explains the rules.
Yeah.
What was your name again, you tall fella?
It's Thalrin Fireclaw.
Oh, well, that's a fancy name. You could just call me Millie.
Ah, wonderful, Millie. Well, just go easy on me, as I really don't know what I'm doing.
I absolutely will not, but you can hope for some beginner's luck. That's probably your only chance.
I'll hope for it.
So Morna comes over and is like,
So, does anybody want anything else? You guys feeling hungry? You thirsty? What do we got here? What do you want, doll? What's your poisons?
Well, honestly, Mona, I'm so nervous about this upcoming voyage that I don't think I could eat anything. Just the water's fine.
All right, I'm just saying, if you want to try some of my special serum, it's known to drown your worries. If you're worried about the voyage, you're not gonna be worried anymore.
I just think it might just pass my worry on to something else. So, thank you, though. I appreciate you looking in on us.
and you see her like she puts a very small like little shot glass. She pours a little, and she goes,
In case you change your mind.
and just slides it across.
She got so deep with that.
Oh no.
And then she looks at you and she's like,
Honey, you want another full one?
Yes, please.
All right.
and like just takes it, goes and pours a little bit out of a big freaking keg, just plops it down, just like,
There you go.
and then she walks away. She's kind of like, I mean, she's still limping back and forth a little bit, and just cleaning some glasses here and there. So, Millie,
Yeah.
you were the one. You said that you were getting you were kind of like checking out the area a little bit, checking out,
Yeah, she's
seeing
just
who's coming and
trying
going.
to be aware of her surroundings. You know, she's never been here before, so she's just kind of scoping out the place and see if there's any shady characters around. Which I think she's kind of come to realize, like, everybody in this city is a shady character in her estimation, but she's still gonna keep her eyes open anyway.
Okay. I would say like you do kind of spot someone that's in he's in one of the alcoves, or you see a figure within one of the alcoves. Do have their hood up, and however the drapes are not drawn, but he's kind of been sitting there. He's been kind of writing down a couple of things and kind of moving. Like, you just see him kind of like fidgeting around with like a little
Like,
pen
on a
and quill.
scale of 1 to Aragorn, how dark and creepy is the
Oh
corner
my
he's in right
gosh.
now?
Ooh, I would say
He's
it's
about to Frodo. He's about to Frodo.
Ooh, I would say like probably like a 6 or a 7. Like, not like super seedy. It's like a dark kind of blue. Actually, no, it's like a dark green, like kind of like a dark green hood that he's in. But yeah, he's just kind of chilling over there, kind of doing his own thing. You see a couple of other, like, either they were on a voyage and a majority of their clothes fell off, or by the amount of drinks they've had, clothing has been shed. You don't know, but they're kind of just like going around. There's a couple of bards singing some tunes, starting some
Just
hums.
the Morna effect at this point, I think.
Yeah. Morna's
Morna makes your
effect
clothes
is
fall off.
pretty much. That's
I
like
haven't
her
got that
objective.
effect yet.
Nope. But yeah. And like at one point you see Morna like take a bowl and kind of like throw it like frisbee across, and is like,
Look, if you're gonna be rambunctious, you gotta pay for a room and take someone up with you, okay? We're not doing it down here. None of that. None of that stuff. Thank you.
I'm loving Morna's character more and more.
She's probably the best so far.
Billy's getting a case of secondhand embarrassment. Like, she's blushing because of how indiscreet everybody else is in this tavern.
yeah, it's definitely like,
Blur my eyes.
yeah, for like a nice little lady from like a well-off area, this is like the den of sin. It's just like constantly any type of probably there's only like 1 or 2 of the 7 deadly sins that are not active in this room right now. So that's kind of like the area where you're at. It's getting a little bit like you're kind of expecting within the next 10 to 15, maybe even 20 minutes. It would be kind of around the time where Alira's going to come on by. So
I'll probably start heading back then, if I'm not already.
Yeah, probably.
All right, now, Thalrin, I tell you what. You win this round, I'll give you my shot of whatever is in that shot glass over there, and if I win, then you also get whatever's in that shot glass over there. Is that so fair?
It sounds intriguing to me. I'll abide by them. I'll abide by the rules.
All right.
All right. So you guys play a little bit longer. I'd say right about in town, like now Zemet's coming back. You kind of just see like the same group of people, same groupings of things, a couple of alcoves and stuff. You guys want to do anything else?
Is Morna in eye shot?
She is. She's within eye shot.
Does she notice me?
She does, and like, I mean, from like the one eye she can see out of that isn't covered by an eye patch, she's pretty darted on you. But she is also kind of like going back and forth with the, like the person in the hood's kind of what she's staring at too. And then there's also like, again, the bard that is slowly shedding his outfit, but he's trying to do it to where she doesn't notice. How many layers did he start
with is what I need to know.
So he started with like I would say, probably like he had a jacket, then a vest, and then like under that like a regular type of blouse shirt, and then beneath that was an additional shirt. He's getting like the blouse is getting unbuttoned. It's about halfway down. So yeah. Shoes are off, socks are gone.
Chest hair showing.
Yeah. Yep. Chest hair is being shown.
Is there a seat available, like next, like to the right adjacent of Thal? Is there a seat available that I can see?
Yeah, there is.
So I'm gonna go and sit right next to him and be like, "Hey, don't choose that one. You'll lose." Anyways, I've noticed there's been a lot of nudity happening, or about to be happening here. What the heck did I just miss, man?
Well, Morna has this little special concoction that it looks like I'll be taking in a bit here.
I just go and
I think that's what's doing it.
I grab the shot glass. Is this it? And then just take it.
Hey, now we were betting on that shot glass.
From across, Morna goes, "Oh, your constitution's not gonna like that." And I need you to roll a d20.
Okay.
And add your constitution modifier.
It can't be too bad. She was offering it to me, and
it's not good. I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's not good. I got a 10 in total.
10 in total? So essentially, right when this hits, it is like you've been on voyages before to where after you fire a cannon, you feel kind of like you can feel the gunpowder residue kicking, and you can also smell kind of like the burning sensation. It's that, but in the middle of your chest. And if you hadn't been on the sea so often, you probably would have been throwing it up in excess. But because you realize I did stay myself from having the fingers stew, it's okay. It doesn't have any, there's nothing really for the body to push back up, but it's burning. And I mean, it's good. Like, it's a strange good. If you imagined like a kale type of drink, but it was sweet. It's very strange, but you did enjoy it.
So I'm gonna, and then instead of like hitting my chest, I'm gonna slap Thal's back as if he's the one coughing. I'm like, more, please, more of that. Oh man, that reminds me of the Little Sea.
Really?
Yep, specifically the sea.
You want more of that?
Yeah. Like two shots 2 shots more, yeah.
Okay. And like she grabs 2 of them, plants them down. This is when you see like big freaking scar up her arm. Plants the shots down, and like out of the mug that she's been carrying the majority of the time, pours out 2 mugs. Pours out 2 shots right for it, slides it across, and goes, "Wet your whistle, honey."
I have a moment of hesitation due to me noticing where it was from. I'm like, is it too late to put that back in the bottle?
Yes.
Ah, I see. And I
She
down
just
both of
pushes
them.
towards you. Okay.
I just
yeah.
down both of them.
It's the same thing.
Alright.
Ugh.
Just do 2 rolls.
Yeah. Do the 2 rolls together. I'll say it's we'll see. Just do the 2 rolls together. Tell me which one
18.
is higher, which one's lower.
And a 6. 18 and a 6. Plus my constitution.
Oh goodness.
Plus my constitution
no.
still.
Yep, plus your constitution.
So that's 21 and a 9.
The 21 helped you quite a bit.
Woo!
So the first one goes down, no issue. The second one hits, and you're like, ugh, like you can feel it's almost like the sea is almost trying to call back whatever liquid this is because it doesn't belong in a body. And the minute that you try to push it up, you're like, no, not in front of Morna, and it's just centered right back down. Centered right back down. And she's like, all right, okay.
Can I?
Okay.
Do I
Just
notice
walks
like I earned some brownie points from her because of that?
She's not looking at you with a disdain anymore.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
You're back to neutral. Let's go.
I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
Started
There
off
you
rough,
are.
but we're back to square one. I'll take it.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna just be coughing profusely, right over Thal's shoulder.
I'd imagine. So Morna like grabs another couple of drinks and kind of goes over, talks to a couple of the people at the alcove, and then as she's walking over, the guy that had the green cloak kind of like pushes the curtain aside to kind of like not have Morna interact with him.
Can can Millie tell if this cloaked figure, does he seem to be watching anyone in particular as he's writing? Like, do I get the impression that he's like taking notes on people, or is he watching anybody?
He's not looking around. He's very intently looking at what he's been writing in. And if you're kind of looking a little bit more, it does look like there's a notebook that he's been writing in, and then there's like a separate parchment of paper that's also seated next to it. And he's kind of just going back and forth. It's kind of weird. You see out of his other hand, he is like flipping something around between his fingers.
Oh.
Yep. Right around now, I would say, Alira does come in. You guys know what she looks like, so she kind of comes in and sits down at like the alcove, just a little bit, like the one right next to the headed character. So,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How far away are they from us?
You guys are like the middle of the room. They're on the far side, so I would say about like maybe 50-ish feet, something along that one. Yeah,
Got it.
like you gotta kind of maneuver through a couple of tables to hop in there, or you can kind of go around it, like hug the wall essentially. So
Walls need love.
sure, yeah.
Tree huggers, wall huggers, all types.
All kinds of huggers.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that Millie would want to try to sneak up on them or interject. But I do want to know who wins at the card game.
Okay.
I was actually curious
what we
about
can
that too.
So, okay, we're gonna run it like blackjack, because that's the only way that I can see it easily with dice.
I was thinking the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
Blackjack's
Yeah.
so easy.
Roll a d8. We're going for 21, or at least getting close enough to 21.
Okay.
So roll a d8. What'd you guys get?
Forget.
I got a 6.
Wait, that's a D9.
6. Okay. So.
4.
Okay. 4. So you can do another d8, or you can do 2 d6s.
I'm gonna do 2 d6s.
Okay.
Ooh.
At 7 more, 13
Okay.
total.
Okay. 13. What do you want to do, Thal?
Spooner's really
I'll
thinking.
do. You know, I'll do 2 D6s.
Okay.
Ooh, it was weak. 2.
What was? Oh.
Combined?
So you're
1-1.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
That's really tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so this last one is going to be, so now you roll another D8. Let's do that.
D8.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
We're gonna have to remember this. this game mechanic.
A 7.
I also
Oh.
got a 7. I have 20.
You have 20? Okay, so you can stay or
I'm
you can
staying.
hit again, but now it's going to be, now you have to do 2D6s.
I'm gonna stay at 20.
2 D6.
Oh,
do you
look
think,
at that.
Val?
The cards just seem to be in my favor.
Oh my god!
I mean, I am pretty low.
Hey,
I'm
you know
only
what?
at 13.
I'm saying go for it, man. I'm just telling you right now.
Well, you're either gonna lose if you hold here, or you have a chance of winning.
You're taking the shot
Alright,
either way,
screw
man.
it. I'm all in. We're doing 2 D6s.
Let's go.
First is a 4.
Okay. 17.
Use another 4.
Second's a 5.
Oh!
22. That's a bust.
Oh.
So Millie does take it. 2 away, but she didn't break. So that's what happens.
You
with it.
were so close, man.
You were, bro. That's wild.
Well, it's a good game, but only one person can be the winner, and someone will take it.
I
just gonna- real
appreciate the
quick.
experience.
I'm just gonna put that in. That's now one of the games that we got. So okay, so that
Yes.
was you roll a D8, right? That was what it is.
D8, and then
D8.
Mhm.
Then it was a
another D8
oh,
or
we
2
can call this.
D6, I think.
So D8, then D8 slash 2D6.
And then you said it
And
was
the next
another
one-
D8.
Yep, was a D8, and then the last one had to be 2D6s.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
I'm good
pretty
with that.
fair on the spot kind of card game. I dig it.
What's
And we're
that?
calling that
Millie's Gambit.
we're gonna call that Mills Gambit because
Yeah,
Mills was the one that
Mills
asked for
Gambit,
it.
there
So
we
that
go.
was it.
I already have something named after my character. It's session 1. This is
Mills Gambit. That's what it's
Prologue session. We already got an infamous game.
called. Yep, there you go. Okay, so yeah, so that
Wait
is
till I
how.
bet for somebody's life on the line.
Always bringing Mill. She always wins.
Yeah, for real. All right. So let's see here. What do we want to do? So Alira is seated. There are 2 other people that have showed up now, that are now seated with her. What do you guys want to do?
I think I'm just gonna chill, kind of keep an eye out, just in the crowd. Kind of
Okay.
also somewhat avoid the soon-to-be naked bard, but just kind
Oh,
of
gosh.
keep an eye out for everything else, anything suspicious or potentially problematic.
Okay. I mean, suspicious. You guys already just the
Well,
guy with the hood.
yeah.
That's about it.
Airborne.
And then, I mean, the bard's kind of getting some people a little bit more rowdy than they need to. He's been dancing around with a couple of women that have shown up. Definitely doesn't look like they would interact with him for free, but there's some interactions going along. And Morna is now being a little bit more intent towards him more so than anyone else, because she doesn't know how that's going to in turn. Because he is gathering like almost like a conga line now of partially dressed sailors, inebriated, partially dressed sailors.
Oh gosh, this sounds like this is gonna be perfect.
When you have too much of the devil's juice, this is just bound to happen.
Yeah. And it's getting rowdy. It's getting rowdy.
Devil's nectar's a thing of the past. All right.
We
Why
know
my
the
character sticks with
captain?
me.
Yep, you guys know who Alira is. So that's why you guys recognized her when she came in. She just kind of sat down there. Yep, that's...
You said she's with the hooded figure, right?
She's right next to it. So like there's 5 alcoves.
Okay.
The 2 of them are completely open. The hooded figures now is partially closed, and then Alira's is open with Alira and then 2 other individuals. Looks like a man and a woman.
Can
They're not sitting
I,
close, though.
from this distance, I don't know if this would be investigation, but could I make out what they would look like? Because I don't exactly feel like getting closer for this.
Okay. Yeah, you can do a perception check.
Okay. 10.
Okay. So you see the man, he's a little bit more dressed up for this area, but more in the terms of like merchant types of clothing. And he does have like a set of key rings that sits right on his belt because he's the one that's closest to the edge. The other individual sits in more. She, you can spot very quickly, hair is pulled all the way back, bleach blonde hair, and it's so evident that ears have points to them. Okay. She is dressed like she should never have been in this town, or that she owns the town. It's one or the other. Like, that's the type of vibe she gives off. And she's kind of just sitting there, like, you can tell there's a little bit of snubness to it, possibly. Like, there's a little bit of like a nose up to it, but she is talking to Alira pretty intently. So it's definitely not a snub for her. Maybe a snub for the degeneracy occurring within the room.
It's fair.
You don't really know.
As it should be.
And the gentleman that has the kind of like the merchant robes, his hands are like adorned with different types of gems. He's got like kind of like a bracelet that's put from here to across, and so it wraps around like that instead of here, but it's because his shirt goes to here, so it's kind of like I'm doing this so that people see kind of thing. And then he has a couple of like rings that connect here that connect with this and here as similar to like with a gold chain, kind of along those lines. A couple of different rubies. You can't really tell what colors the rubies are, but there's definitely some decent sized rocks sitting in there.
So I'm gonna nudge over to Thal and kind of try to get Millie's attention, and then point in that direction and be like, "Hey, what do you think they're talking about over there? What do you think is going on?" She doesn't exactly, and I kind of like point in the direction of the, I'm assuming elvish-looking woman. And be like, she doesn't exactly look like she belongs here.
Possible navigator?
Possibly cargo?
What, she's in charge of the cargo, or she is the cargo?
I'm leaning more towards the latter.
Cargo.
I mean, just look at it. And then look, there's the merchant next to him. He's got more rings than I've ever seen before.
Millie's gonna lean over the table to get, like, closer to this discussion, like, full elbows on the table. Like,
Yeah, at this point she's like, paint me like a French girl across the bar.
It kinda is. Get it in hushed tones. Well, we could always go over there and see when we're getting ready to depart or something, and maybe pick up a little conversation from what they're talking about to figure out who they might be.
I got an idea. How about we do both? Alright, one person goes to talk, see what the dealio is. The other person
I like to talk.
sits nearby and kind of eavesdrops and see if they could pick up anything after the first person leaves.
Okay.
The third person can be a lookout. I'm thinking
I'm
Thal.
not much for sneaking around, but I can be a lookout if you two want to, maneuver over there.
Well, I'm not exactly the greatest when it comes to women. It's just not my strong suit, unfortunately.
Oh, we noticed.
Look, it's my buddy Jimmy
Yeah,
who
you're
told
telling
me.
me, bud.
Listen, I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it. It's a character flaw in myself.
But
Jimmy
I do
pointed
have
out.
to say, work the mustache, and I think you'll be just fine. It's just fine in your own personal, flair.
The mustache was step one. It took me a while to grow this. But
It's very nice.
thank you. Yeah, no oils, no nothing. It's all natural. Anyways, back to the point.
Can you use seaweed or?
No, actually.
I give it a little small cut.
You
Try
definitely should.
seaweed.
You definitely should.
Is it the whole interchangeable thing you were telling her earlier? Use that.
I don't think you need that,
Okay.
but you can benefit from it.
Okay. Oh,
I can see some seawater air getting into your pores. I can see
I gotcha.
it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You're
Anyways,
also like gray, which is kind of weird, but besides that fact, I'll let it be.
I'm just
Hey,
born this way.
Mona, could you be a doll and tell us who is it over there at the table talking to Captain Alira?
So she's like kind of looking intently, and she's like,
The gentleman? Yeah, I think I've seen him before. It kind of looks like, looks like Terrence. He's just kind of he comes through here every once in a while, sells some wares, sells some things. It's lots of jewelry. I've bought in a couple of things that I've given to some of my suitors. But other than that, he travels around in the area sometimes. The other one, I don't know. She looks like an uptight woman.
See, I was thinking the same
That's
thing.
all I can gauge. Elvish,
Yeah.
by those little pointy thingies going on with that.
Same thing. We're on the same wavelength, girl.
I don't know. I haven't seen
I'm not so sure about that.
someone like that in a while. Not around here. Not at my bar. Not at my bar. No. No.
This is a fine establishment, though.
I appreciate it. We try. It's rotting, but we love it. So
I look over to the bard undressing, and then I look back over to her, and I'm just like, I could tell. It's doing a fantastic job.
he only shows up on Thursdays. Okay,
Okay.
it's a contract. As long as he doesn't get too rowdy, we're okay.
But it's Saturday.
Sure. Well, he's not on contract right now, but he's contracted to us. So right now it's like an off day. He'll be in later, so
it's
you
like-
can come back. It's kind of like I'll be here all week type of thing, but it's every week.
It's the appetizer.
So, oh, you swing that way.
No. Hold on.
Alrighty.
No.
I misjudged you, sir. I mean,
Morta.
I know
No.
some people.
That's not
If
where I
you're
was.
feeling that.
Listen, I was saying he's trying to be the appetizer for them. You're like, hey, you like what you see? Come back on Thursdays, right?
So he's an appetizer for himself? That's
Listen.
kind of redundant.
Listen,
Like if I'm dealing out meals, like I'm not gonna feed someone fish and then give them a fish stew after. You don't see that happen with sushi. Sushi's not like you get sashimi and then they give you sushi after. You get it all together.
listen. It was my best guess at a equivalent. I was trying to relate to the conversation. I
You're moving
apologize.
down on the pegs, big guy. You're moving down.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you gotta work a lot harder. You
Can I just give him a very condescending pat on the back?
I'm gonna just immediately
It's not
like.
really.
It's a
It's
little
not honey.
hand too. That's what's funny. Like it's a tiny little
Good
bat.
trying.
Small
I'm
little
I'm gonna pat her arm, but also slowly push it at the same time. Just like, thank
Oh,
you.
you didn't think
Thank
I had a little hand?
you. That is hilarious.
I was just thinking it was like the Meet the Robinsons. They go big head. The dinosaur. Freaking,
I'm
oh,
gonna
okay.
use it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
But
gonna. I'll turn back to the group like, all right. So, what's the plan? Are we gonna We're gonna do this. Eavesdropping thingamajig.
Yeah, we should do it. Thal, you want to be the lookout or the spokesperson?
I believe I could be a good spokesperson.
All right, I'll be the lookout. What should the signal be if there's some trouble?
Why am I instantly the eavesdropper?
Because he's 7 foot tall and I can't be quiet.
Fair point. Maybe Mornis single.
All right, that seems like a weird thing for me to shout out.
Okay,
but
you know what?
someone-
I don't know. It was the first thing that
It'll
came
be
to mind.
okay with me, Toots. I'm perfectly fine. People need to know that there's more on the charcuterie board, if you get what I mean.
Mona, I love you, but we're trying to have a private conversation.
Yeah, my ears, well, since I lost my eye, my ears are a lot better, and you guys don't really talk quiet. I mean, it's weird that the one guy has, like, another accent. I don't know why. Like, you don't know us. We don't know you. Why would you need to disguise your voice? I'm not trying to steal your identity. You're a freaking gray man. What's going on here?
I do not have a rebuttal for that.
Oh, there you go. Another voice. Wow.
It's the
Fancy pants over here.
It's the
All
same
right, Don't
voice.
give him such a hard time. He's doing his best.
I'm
All
trying.
right.
All right.
You're
Look,
gonna do
you
your
got your little-
best to get us some information.
All right. Well, let me go, and I'm gonna look for a spot nearby where I can sit down and Assassin's Creed eavesdrop on them.
Okay.
With the cloak
Um,
guy?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
gray guy, super not obvious.
Okay. So where? So you're going to sit with the cloak guy?
No. I'm gonna sit.
okay.
No, that's no. So I'm just
And
going
he is
to.
never seen again.
I'm right now. I'm looking for a
It's like
spot.
you're trying
near-
to, I can send him a drink over there and say it's from you if you're really contemplating
Well,
it.
we're having a private conversation.
He's not here often, I'll tell you that. But you know, two random souls embracing each other at a random time. Who's
is-
to say?
Morning, you're killing me. I need you to stop for a second.
It's like it's meant to be.
I put down.
Why
my
are
foot
you
a long
endorsing
time.
this, Thal?
You'd know if I was killing you. Yeah.
And she winks at you with one.
It just looks like a blink.
It's just a blink.
Blinks.
I literally just like jaw open, speechless. Like what?
she goes over and just like across your lip and then just pushes your jaw back up. She goes, "No need for that, honey," and just walks away.
I'm gonna turn to Millie and be like, I think I'm in her good graces now.
I don't know what that was, but it certainly wasn't bad. I think it might have been an invitation.
I feel conflicted.
Door's always open, big boy.
I don't know how we got to this point. She hated me like 3 seconds ago. What is going on?
She changes like the tides. She's a sea woman after all.
Millie, I did not
Amen,
realize
sister.
you are so philosophical. Anyways, I'm gonna look somewhere adjacent to Allura and see if there's a spot where I could sit down and eavesdrop successfully.
I mean, I will. Well, here's like the whole thing is like Alira does know who you guys are, so
Oh.
like if you start getting closer, she's probably gonna be like, "Do you want to sit at our table?" Like, I mean, it's not like a.
Would
So
you
like
care
it's
to
up
join?
to you.
Okay.
She'd kind of be like, "You don't need to sit there. We have additional seating," kind of thing. So it's up to you. I mean, if you want to sit somewhere else unintentionally, she's probably gonna be like, "Okay."
I'm
So
trying
it's up
to
to you.
eavesdrop, so I don't want to be noticed. So that's where I'm that's where I'm going for.
Okay, so there's an well, there's 2 alcoves that are next to Alira's.
The
There's
like
one that's empty,
inside?
but you have to go past them to get there.
Oh,
The other one is the one with the hooded figure. So you can try to go beside that one and maybe get a gist past him. But they're like 8 to 9 person booths. So they're not like a small little intimate setting. It's
Why
like
is he in his own? Okay, hold on. That's another question I have to deal with. So, okay, so I'm just gonna be like, all right, guys. I know we mentioned this in jest earlier, but maybe sitting with the hooded guy isn't a bad idea. At the same time, he might kill me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I can't
Should
see
I
any
call
of these.
Morna?
No, please, anything but that.
What? You need what?
No, you're good.
My name.
She
No,
has
you
very
didn't.
good hearing.
Golly, she does. What do you guys think?
I have an idea.
What's
I'll
it-
go sit next to cloaked figure and start up a conversation. It's a
Okay.
very large alcove, and while I'm
Okay.
sitting there talking to him, you sit on the other side of the booth and eavesdrop on a lira.
I will be honest, Millie. I feel like I'd be hearing you over them. I feel like it'd be harder to hear them in that situation.
Talk very quietly.
I do not believe it for a second. This is no disrespect whatsoever. You know, we're friends at this point. You've seen me at my lowest with Morna, so I'd like to think
I've
we're
also
friends.
heard you at your lowest with whatever that first accent was.
Okay, listen, we don't want to talk about that, alright? I thought someone was here that I didn't want to be here, so
Or did
You
you,
know.
not want to be here?
listen, that's another topic for another day.
Okay, I'm
Was
sorry,
it
too
Morna?
fast.
It's not Morna. Why? Stop bringing her into
Saying
this.
her name.
Yeah,
She's gonna come back over here.
she's gonna get summoned.
What? I'm sorry. Did you call?
No,
What?
no, thank you, we did not.
Oh, we
You
can
guys
Alright,
just
seem
go.
to have a
boy.
connection.
Listen, why don't we just go talk to
she
the
winks
captain?
I mean, she blinks
winks
again.
It's just a natural human thing to do.
Oh well. I mean, all right.
Morta, are you
Have
okay?
you tried finger guns? They might communicate better.
These fingers aren't used for guns.
I'm just gonna get up and then proceed to walk in the direction of Allura. Allura, right?
Lyra.
Okay.
Allura.
Allura.
Gosh, I can't. I'm just gonna not
Wait,
say anyone's
Dale,
name
does that
right.
mean I'm supposed to talk to the cloaked figure? I don't know what's happening.
Wait,
I'm
what was
already-
I supposed to do?
I'm already gone.
No.
I'm already
We
like.
were talking, and now he's going.
I'm already walking.
I'm on lookout.
Do I go talk with the hood
I
figure?
have no idea. I don't know what you guys are doing.
So-
binoculars.
Yeah.
She gets 2 glasses and she just sticks some glasses there.
It's the 2 shot glasses that he finished earlier.
So I'm gonna go ask Allura like, what's our ETA on departure?
Okay. So as you come over there, so Alira's kind of just, she's sitting, kind of talking back and forth. She, like, out of the corner of her eye, notices you, so she kind of does look apart, and she's like, "Oh, hello." So, give it a couple more minutes. A couple of our crew still have to, how do you say, get over their hangovers, essentially.
That's
Right now,
seems legit.
right now the guy that's in charge of our sales, currently says that I have 4 masts and I only have 2. So until he knows that there's only 2 on the ship, and he's not seeing 4, then we'll be able to debark.
Okay. I'm on board. That makes sense. Thank you for the update.
Yep, absolutely.
I kind of like look over to the other 2. I'm like, I apologize for interrupting your conversations.
Taryn is like, "Oh yeah, no biggie, my man. Nothing, no problem whatsoever." And then the other individual is kind of like, "Thank you."
I tip my Jack Sparrow hat towards her, and I proceed to walk back. Okay. As I'm walking back, I notice her do that. I just kind of like, and then just continue to walk back towards.
Do a second take.
Yeah, more like a triple take. I'm like, excuse me.
She, like, after you took a couple more steps, then she started talking to Alira again.
Can I overhear? Like, as I'm walking, like, can I overhear what they were saying? What she was saying?
You heard at least her kind of. What? Are you trying to, or were you just like generally?
I'm trying to at this point.
I would say just roll a really quick perception check, because like she's
16.
She's probably gonna say this. Okay.
Well, I don't need to add anything, right?
No, that one's
Okay.
fine. You heard her pretty clearly ask Alira, like, are they is he one of the additionals on the ship today? And then, like, you were kind of walking past to where you heard Alira say, yes, he is. That's about the cap. And then it continued a little bit back and forth.
As I'm walking past the hooded man, do I make out any distinct features or anything else about his look that we wouldn't have gotten from afar?
You do notice that his cloak has like a clasp. It's a silver clasp, and it's got a coiled serpent on it. Can't make out a whole lot. You do see a little bit of like a silvery hair kind of just peeking out from the side of the hood.
Like silky, kind of?
Yeah, like it's silky silver hair.
Okay.
That's kind of peeking out a little bit. Taking like a very quick glance, he has a notebook out that he's pretty deep into. It looks very tattered. Definitely looks like it's been on travels of some kind. I mean, it could be of any type.
Yeah.
And it looks like he possibly has a map beneath that of some kind.
Okay.
And
Alright.
in his other,
Your vision's actually worse now.
How do you know that Millie didn't secretly need glasses this whole time?
That's a
How
fair
do you
point.
know?
Never know these days.
great. So yeah, Spoon, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I'm just
okay, I was just
I'm just monitoring what's going on with the situation.
I was just making sure. I never saw your hand go up, and I was like, if you're trying to say something, just let me know.
Oh no, I muted my mic. It's right here.
Oh, okay, cool, gotcha.
So
The teeth are very yellow, Mr. Tail.
I'm gonna walk up to the group as I hear that. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. And I sit down and I let him know. Basically, it's like, all right, so we got a couple more minutes until it's time to leave. Apparently, there's some people with some heavy hangovers, so we gotta wait on that to clear up. And a mystery guy, he's got a map. I think, possibly. I don't know.
Which
it looks
one?
like
The
a
one
map.
talking to Captain Lyra? The one in the corner?
Sorry, the one that we cannot tell what he looks like, the hooded one.
I better just go talk to him.
Wait, don't hold on. Oh, she's already
And
gone.
Millie hops out of their seat and scampers on over.
I
to
tell
the
Thal, I'm like,
hooded
dude,
guy.
he had like some really silky silver hair. I don't know how you keep it up like that, especially on the sea. It's crazy.
Okay, so you just kind of like walk on over. It's a pretty medium build person. It's still pretty hard to discern any of his features because of how dim the light is. I will say you notice pretty quick. So are you like getting right up into the booth?
I'm approaching him very obviously as to make conversation with him.
Okay. I mean,
I'm not sitting down in his booth. I'm walking up to where.
Okay. He's you can see from the right side, it looks like his hands are like slightly scaled. You're not 100% sure, but it definitely looks like it's got some green scales to it, or a little bit of like a blue, like a cyan, like a dark cyan type of feel to it.
Okay.
And he's kind of just sitting there, just same thing. Like he's scribbling somewhat frantically, but it doesn't seem. It almost seems like that's a natural pace. Like you haven't seen him be slower than that. It's still the same amount of scribblings. And so you just want to walk right up.
Yeah. Millie's gonna walk up and just be like, "Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice you were all on your own. I was wondering if you want to join us for a game of cards. We only have 3 players, and we could really use a 4th player to even out the teams."
Cards.
She's just kind of holding a deck of cards in her hands. as a
Interesting thing.
prop, icebreaker prop.
And like his head stays.
I handmade these myself. I see you're into a little bit of writing yourself, but these ones I hand painted. Special set.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Can I take a
Cards.
quick peek at what he's writing? Like if it has a heading or a title or.
So I'm gonna be 100%. The booths are on top of a little bit of cinder, and then the table, and then like the booth. So like.
So if I jump, I'm just kidding.
So if I just
He's like-
do my
I'm not
vertical
Jack in
jump.
the box on this poor guy.
He's like, so he's a little bit
Hey,
in,
mister.
like, there's about enough for another person to sit next to him before you get into the booth. So from here, you kind of can only see, like, you're kind of knee level, a little bit over knee level with him, kind of. So you're kind of looking up to him. There's more scales. You can see a little bit more of like some shimmer scales that are coming from his face. It's still very hard to actually see what he looks like though.
I'm just gonna leave that open invitation. Ask him if he wants to come play cards.
He's gonna he's still scribbling and he just goes, cards. Cards are, it's just paper, but they're hardened. Doesn't make sense. What kind of paper did it come from? Where did it come from? Why do we do things like that?
You know, I never really thought of it like that, but now that you mention it, who actually invented cards and the idea of, you know, playing cards as a way to pass the time? But it is quite an entertaining practice, especially once you get the hang of it. I mean, you know.
Yes, I'd imagine humans did it. They need something to continue their lives. There's probably some type of deep-seated need for a winning, but something where it's up to chance. That way, they on their own are not the fault of their loss, but instead they can blame it on some entity or being that orchestrated the game.
Millie
And I
suddenly
mean,
has
still
this very
scribbling
conflicted
the
look.
whole
She's gonna have an internal crisis over why she actually plays cards, and she's gonna kind of is it just because I'm insecure? Is it because I needed something to win? Because that's actually what I just told Valorant was I needed a level playing field, and so she's gonna have a little bit of a, you know, a therapist breakthrough moment here talking about cards with this guy at the top.
So as you're kind of just standing there, you do see like his art. So like his head is still down, but where you're at, you see his eye, just one eye, dart and kind of look at you. And it's got this strange kind of like a yellow, like it looks like foggy yellow, like almost gold dusting that's kind of just like swirling back and forth within his eye. There's no pupil to it, but there's also no white. So it's just all that. And before this, you saw no shimmer, no nothing. And so as he looks over, he just says, do you have a belief? Because if you do not have one, then you do believe in fate or luck. Or do you believe that someone orchestrates that or something orchestrates that? That's the question you should ask. Not if you need a fourth for cards.
Well, you know, now that you mention it, I was raised to have some faith, but recently I've been kind of doubting whether or not anything really is predetermined or left up to destiny, or if it really was just happenstance that things happen. You know, can I climb up there next to you? We can discuss further. This is a very interesting conversation.
If there is space, then something must take its place.
Jeez
Gonna
Louise.
just hop up on the bar stool.
And so, I mean, he's still like very intently scribbling. What languages do you speak?
Common, halfling, and elvish.
Okay. This
I thought you were
is
a monk.
not clicking. It looks like, for lack of better terms, the scribbles of a madman right now. And I mean, it's just like kind of going back and forth. You do notice that there is something beneath his notebook, And also, I will say the eye hasn't gone off of you. It's still just one, and now it's kind of lightened up the area a little bit, and you're seeing more scales now. And the closer you are, it is more consistent that there is some type of draconic bloodline or ancestry within this individual.
It's born as
Have I ever
eye.
encountered anyone other than like South Elrin and this guy that were draconic?
So, Greshler started off as a Drakish country. It's like kind of throughout time, it's dwindled more and kind of became more of like a melting pot. It's like not a full melting pot. It's about 50% ish, especially in Allandia. It's about 50% draconic, and then pockets of humans here and there. And it's the day-to-day things. Like, there's not a chimney sweep, but there is a dragonborn that comes around and will like light like fireplaces for people as like a job. When you see blacksmiths and stuff, it's majority draconic, and they're actually using their own fire. They're using their own breath weapons to melt and build up whatever they need to. It's very much centered around the Drakish ancestry within the town. However, they've been very open, unlike other counties where it's Drakish.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I will say, this is a shade of Dragonborn that you are not very familiar with. You've maybe heard of Sapphire Dragonborns, or you've maybe heard of like just blue dragons, but nothing like this necessarily, especially with the eye. The eye is also throwing you a little.
Great. Yeah, she's gonna just hop up next to him, try to take a peek at the writings and realize that it's not anything that she can read, and then she's gonna continue on. Well, yeah, so about that idea about faith or luck, do you really think that the two are mutually exclusive, or could there be some place where both exist? Like in a harmonious state where some things are left to destiny and others are certainly just by chance?
What the frick?
Well, there are planes, and within those is where the gods exist. It's a matter of if you think that fate is a good or a bad. If it's good, then it sits with the divine. It has a meaning. But if you believe fate is bad, then it sits within the void, waiting for someone to break its back so that it may return.
Well, I certainly choose to believe that fate is a good thing, and that, you know, if you put good out into the universe, then you'll receive good back, and that's, I think, the positive side of what fate could be.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I wish others believed that. I wish others knew or saw that. But I know things, and sometimes I can't be as naive. That's it. And he's just still scribbling away. Just
What's that
Might
you're
as
walking
well.
on?
Things right. Things that come from the brain and transfer down within my hand and somehow spew upon this page. Over time, I feel this might benefit someone. It's a struggle, though, to see if anyone might be able to read this. Not many know how I speak, not many know how I write. But when they do, they'll see what I've seen, and they'll know what I've known. And it might be a curse, but it's a curse I can bestow.
If it's a curse, why would you want to bestow it? Wouldn't you rather just let it end with you?
Everything is fixed within the universe. Everything is fixed within this earth. So, when I take something off of my own shoulders, it has to go somewhere else. And so the hope is if someone does take this and someone does learn it, then the weight will be lifted from me and perhaps I can go where I need to go at that time. But until then, I sit in taverns, trails, places, trees, and I write, hoping one day someone will move and take the weight.
Well, that certainly sounds like a great hardship you found yourself under. And I'm not going to say that I can carry that burden. I don't even know what kind of burden it is you're under, but maybe I can help you. If you tell me what it says, I could write it down in a more common tongue for somebody else to be able to pick it up and share some of that. Wait.
Perhaps. That's it. It's just that's how he just says perhaps. And then he just continues on scribbling.
So is it like, I know I can't read it, but like, is it in like paragraph or is it columns or like just the format of the page?
So it's written diagonally within the page. So it goes like pretty much like a diamond style is how he's writing it out. And it's just a rectangular normal notebook, but it starts in the top corner and goes across like this to the bottom corner.
Yeah.
However, he writes like a couple of lines and then will move down and then write 2 lines or so. Then he'll come back up and write in between those, but he always stays the same spacing. Like it's kind of it's strange how it's being written out.
Well, if you change your mind about playing cards, just let me know. Me and my friends will be over at the table.
Okay. And he says, very well. You continue to play your games.
Oh, I'm so rude. My name's Millie, by the way. What was your name?
Hidebound.
Hidebound. Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I certainly hope that someday you can be released of this burden and somebody else can take it off your shoulders, and maybe you'll live a little bit lighter once you let it go.
Goodbye, Millie. And he's just sitting there.
Go back to the table. Well, I found out some interesting things about our hooded friend over there. He seems to be some sort of dragon. No offense to you, Thal, but a blue-green dragon of some kind with golden eye, and his name's Hidebound, and he's writing something that I couldn't read. It's a different language, something about a curse, and he's burdened under and hoping somebody else can take it on himself. I don't know if you want to go and try to, maybe you speak the language or something.
It's gonna go
Very
racist.
interesting. Real racist.
I do like the fact that Hidebound is his name, and he's into writing books.
So real quick, it's tide bound, like TIDE bound.
Like Hidebound better.
Yeah.
You can change
so
his
it's
name, though.
Tidebound.
I like it.
She just deliberately says it's hidebound.
Hidebound cursed dragon. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I was noticing he was staring at you pretty weird. I thought I saw like a flicker of light or something. I don't know.
So from where you guys were, you wouldn't have seen the eye, but you would have saw that like from the hood there was a glow of gold.
Yeah,
That's what you saw. Yep. You didn't know quite what it was, I'll say, like, because you're still a decent amount away to where you couldn't see the eye. The only reason why she even saw the eye was because his head was down and she was lower.
So it was like direct.
Oh, wait, did
Yeah.
I see what the item was that he was flipping between his fingers?
Yes. So the item was a intricately carved wooden token shaped like a ship's wheel.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Well, today's been an
Certainly was an
interesting day.
very interesting fellow. In
Yeah,
fact, I think I have some thinking I need to do over what he said
is it
about fate and luck.
is it about cards? Because you were showing off those cards a lot. But I noticed that.
He didn't seem too interested in pastimes like playing cards. That's his loss.
That's a surprise.
It's a bit of a heavy conversation.
Well, I guess we'll just sit around and just wait till those people stop having those doggone hangovers, and I like lightly hit or like punch Thal's like shoulder when I say that.
Okay.
Just leave a slight grunt from
Yeah,
impact.
exactly. Okay, so let's see here. The so Alira's like the like really smug looking one
gosh.
has kind of been sitting there. And so somebody did Zemet recognizes one of the individuals
Oh,
that
no.
came up. And it's definitely one of the two that were sitting on that bench outside and talks to Alira. And so Alira does come over to you guys and is like, so I have been informed that we are ready to voyage. So settle your affairs here and just meet at the ship. It's the same ship you guys saw the first time around.
Quick question. And I point over to the guy that walked up to the table. Was that to the gentleman we were waiting for?
The
one
Yes.
that I noticed.
Bro, the
Yep,
ghost ship,
100%.
bro.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
who we're waiting for.
Ah, I see. Everything makes sense.
Hopefully
now.
he's not the captain.
Alira's the captain.
Yeah, Alira's
That's
like,
right. That's
I'm definitely the captain. There's no
Thank
issues
goodness.
there. No, there's
Thank
no
goodness.
issues there. He's just in charge of the sails. He told me that he now sees 3, so we're gonna call that a win. And
Yeah.
we're just gonna move
Halfway
forward
there.
with that.
Yeah, I saw him earlier today. He was somewhere else mentally. I'll say that much.
Oh, well, most anybody that goes on a sea voyage around here doesn't seem like they have all of their salt counted in their head, if that makes any sense.
I get like semi or quasi maybe depressed in that statement. It's like, yeah, that's one way to put it. Anyways, and I like go back to normal. I was like, all right, so I'll just meet up by the ship and we're good to go.
Yep. So she kind of just kind of ushers the other two out. The the elven woman like kind of has a long flowing dress and like picks up the dress and like almost tiptoes throughout as she's walking through this room. And then they all kind of leave out the back towards the docks, at least.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get up and be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go head up to the ship. I'll see you guys there.
Well, we could just all go together. We're going to the same place.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have your existential crisis real quick before we went.
I thought about it, but then I realized that time's a wasted and we got places to go.
That's one way to put it. Thal, you ready to join this weird crew?
well, might as well. Better now than never.
I pat him on the back. It's like, yeah, you don't really got much choice. You're still here. And just go ahead and start to leave towards the ship.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of walking, so the exit that they went to is like kind of past there. Zemet, as you're walking past the different alcoves, very quickly there is a scaly blue hand that does grab your wrist as you're walking past, and without looking up or anything, you just hear the figure look at you. Well, not look at you, but you hear the figure say, "You're not from here, but you're not supposed to be here."
I would like,
Why?
as soon as he grabs my wrist, I immediately grab my dagger and swing it right towards where I would assume his neck would be at, but stop before I could hit anything.
As you're mid-move with it, you see him flick the steering wheel at the sword, and it stops the sword in midair.
Dagger.
Or yeah, it stops the dagger in midair.
Like as I'm
literally,
holding
like,
it.
Yeah, like as you're like going across, not like full across, but as
Yeah.
you're going full across, like he just flicks it across and it stops your dagger.
and I look at him, and I'm like, I let go of the dagger to see if it still floats.
Yep, it's staying there.
Is his hand still on my wrist?
It's now loosed. Like he's let go now, and he's back to scribbling again. But he starts to kind of shift the book across, and then he pulls out the extra paper and starts folding it up into a diamond form, and then slides it across. And as he does so, he says, "Broken, broken, broken. Broken men deserve to find the pieces. Broken men deserve to find the pieces." And just like puts his hand back and then just starts writing back into there. So,
broken men deserve to find the pieces?
Yep.
And so the thing he slid it's towards me, like I can just go ahead and grab it.
It's right on the edge there. Yep.
So I'm gonna pick it up, and what do I notice about it? Like, is there anything specific that pops out to me or anything?
It's folded up right now.
Yeah.
So it like because he.
I didn't know if there was
up.
like any kind of magic or anything that would stand out.
So
from it.
You kind of feel like this when you hold it, there is like a kind of like a quick like green flash that you see. Like it's a very minimal thing, but just like there's part of your
like little
head. Yeah, there's just a part of something that like flashes a little bit of green. For, like,
and we're still
split
inside,
second.
right?
Or yep, you're still inside.
All right, so I'm gonna pocket it, and my dagger's still floating, right?
Yeah, and like what you see, like he kind of waves his fingers across, and then the wooden little ship's wheel comes back, and he just starts going right back to his fingers, and just kind of flooding it between his fingers again.
So I'm gonna look around, and then I'm just gonna sit down at the booth and be like, "Who are you? And what do you want?" And I'm gonna have my hand on my crossbow, but like underneath the table.
You see, so like
You're gonna pull a Han Solo here? What's
Yeah.
So as he's writing, he does like stop for a moment, and the hood kind of goes up, and you see this golden eye just peer right at you. And like it's kind of one of those things, did you guys ever see like It 2?
I never watched it.
So it's like it kind of like stops you in your track. Like you feel like almost like your train of thoughts stopped. Like whatever was going is now hold there. And you see that like the ship's wheel he holds between two fingers and like moves it across, and then you hear your crossbow bolt unbolt from itself. And he, with just the eye peering out still, he just says, "Tidebound is what I'm known by. And it's not a case of what I want. It's a case of what is needed. And a broken man needs to find his pieces."
So I'm going to put the crossbow away. And then both hands, like obvious, on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask, who is this broken man that needs to find those pieces?
When you look in the water, who do you see looking back?
I'm just going to get up, grab my dagger, and try to leave. Like, I don't know if the dagger's going to stop me.
Yeah, no, it does come back, and as you're walking away, he says, "Enjoy your travels, Zemet."
I obviously pause in my tracks, like kind of give that glance, and then just leave.
As you glance
quickly
back, there was nobody sitting in the booth.
Okay. Were Millie and Thal nearby? Or...
He would have snagged you being in like the back of it.
He kind of led. We were already outside on the street.
We kept
Okay,
walking.
so you
We
guys
didn't
were gone.
notice.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I as I go to leave, I want to go back to the booth and do. I don't know if it would be either perception or investigation. I think it's probably perception to see if there's like any kind of residue to link him with something from my past, or if I don't know if he left anything there other than what I grabbed.
So, you see, where he was sitting, or where it was sitting, or whatever it was, there is like, it's like a wet spot that's in the wood.
I freaking knew it.
And when you were initially there, like your arm where he held you smells just like seawater. Like it's almost strange that like you can move your nose a long part of your body and it is all seawater just where his hand sat. The rest of you just smells as you do. And there is a small wooden ship wheel that is sitting on the table. This one, though, looks to be in better condition than the one that was being fumbled between his fingers.
I'm going to grab it and I don't know, kind of twirl it between my fingers to see if anything would happen, kind of like what Tidebound was doing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing happens. It's just you're just kind of fiddling it back and forth a little bit.
Interesting.
Yep.
I pocket it and I go ahead and actually leave now.
Okay.
And that's how I added this protective coating to the cards that I made. Well, isn't that interesting?
Why, yes. It was quite the intriguing tale.
What are you guys talking about?
Is he lying, or is he actually interested in me telling him how I made these cards, or is he totally lying?
That is completely up to him. I'm not like, that's like one of those things you can give an insight. I mean, okay, do this. Millie rolls an insight, Thal rolls whatever he wants to.
Persuasion, maybe?
It's whatever he wants to.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Persuasion, anything you want to.
Oh.
Let's see.
Millie looks like she got a good roll.
Oh, it's not great. I got 10.
Okay.
How about a natural 20?
No! First natural 20, let's go.
She really cares what he thinks about her cards.
Thal, be honest. How do you feel about her cards?
Well, he's lying.
Too much about it.
It is so obvious he's lying.
So yeah, that's what you get out of that, Millie.
She just kind of hangs her head a little bit, disappointed, and puts her cards away.
That's what I walk up behind him, like, oh, hey, are you guys gonna play more card games, or?
No,
No. Oh,
we ain't playing no more cards.
Millie, why the long face?
Let's just get to the ship, all right? I'm ready to get out of here.
Val, what did you do?
Well, I guess they said the truth.
Yeah, the truth does hurt.
No,
Anyways.
I didn't say the truth. He tried to butter me up. Val, I just wish you'd just be honest and say I couldn't care less, and that's the boringest thing I've ever heard.
I will proceed to walk towards the ship, but I'm gonna do it like slowly,
You're
while
just bitter
like
that I beat you at cards.
mirroring the coast, like the sea on the coastline.
Yeah. So, you only walk probably a good 100 or 200 feet before it's starting to not be coastline and it's just docks. Like essentially, if you guys can see on Roll20, you guys were like right here was where it's like right on the edge right here.
Okay. And we just go down south more?
Yeah, and this is where Alira's ship is setting sail from. Okay. So as you guys are walking by, like, this is a very busy area when it comes to trades and imports. You see it's ships coming in, ships docking, there's captains yelling and screaming at each other because someone's in the wrong dock. There's people unloading large crates, large barrels of stuff, rolling them down bridges and rolling them down plankways. There's a couple of like boxes here and there of some stuff. You spot like a couple of like really raggedy looking animals like here and there. There's some dogs that are just like look like they're sopping wet from the seawater. They probably jumped in to grab like a fish or maybe even snag a pigeon or something like that. There's one dog that like has like some really strange like burns across its body, which doesn't usually like fit into the same effect, but it's just he's kind of like just chilling a little bit. It's like going back and forth on the same dock. And it's kind of like hopping between a couple of docks. There's like a whole family of halflings that are all sitting at the edge of a dock that nobody's pulled into, that are all fishing, and one of them snags a fish that was not meant to be snagged by someone of that stature. So you see him just get thrown right into the water super fast. Is like one of his buddies like, oh no, I got you, man, and like just dives right in, starts swimming over. He's like, let go of the pole, and he's being dragged through some of the water back and forth. He's like, no, it's like, I gotta tell him. It's like, Morta will love me if I can bring this back to her. And then his buddy grabs. He's like, "It's not worth it, man. She's not worth it." He's like, "Morta," and like they pull him back onto the dock. But yeah, I mean, after seeing like a bunch of these little, like, there are tons of different characters, like just all types of bunches. There's some guys with booths that are set out right at the edge where the docks come in, and they're trying to sell off things to coming in captains. There's somebody that just gets slapped because obviously their price was way too high, like shouldn't have been put in this type of area. And then you finally start to see the two masts, at least that you know of, the correct two masts of hang on, I gotta find the name real quick.
Not 3 or 4. Oh.
Definitely not 5 either.
Nope. Of the Blue Serpent. It's a moderately sized ship. It's got 2 full masts on it. One that's built for like faster speeds. The other one is more built for like a slow waiting in closer areas. It's not a ship that's large enough to where it would stay out at sea and then you come in with a rowboat. It's definitely one that can dock fully. So it's not a deep one either, and it's even its rudder doesn't stick fully into the water. As you guys get up closer, you start to see there's all of Alira's crew is up on top. They're loading stuff on. Zeus, you do see the 2 fellas as you were walking by. They are both walking amongst the crew, somewhat stumbling, but still within their own rights and their own merits. There was at one point you see one guy that like he kind of like heaves himself a little, and his buddy grabs him, and he's like, "I'm good, I'm okay, I'm all right," and like just backs off. But yeah, so you guys just get right up to the ship. Alira's already up on top. She's already manning the wheel, and as of right now, you don't see Taryn or Lydia, the 2 that were additional. But yeah, so you guys just want to walk onto the ship, do anything else?
When I saw the 2 dudes like stumbling and heaving, I look over to the guys and I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be a fun trip. I can tell it's going to be a bumpy ride. This ain't going to go well.
All right.
Wait, he says that to us?
Yeah, I said that to you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I don't
Do any
even
of you
know
know
if
to man the ship?
I don't know if I get seasick.
I don't know. I mean, I knew people that they could do this literally 1 foot in the grave, but I don't know. Those guys don't look like they could do something like that. I mean, they look small as it is. No offense,
Wait,
Millie.
does being small mean it's
No,
worse?
no, Millie. No, I like pat her on the head. I'm like, no, Millie. Size doesn't matter.
You guys see Alira kind of catches you guys off the corner of the ship and kind of motions you guys over. As you kind of get up, all of your luggage is loaded up. A couple of bags or whatever you guys took with you, however that looks for your character, is put onto the boat. I'm gonna take a quick pause right here. I have to use the restroom so bad, so we're just gonna take a quick little 5 minute.
No
We're
worries.
not done yet, but almost. So I'm just... You guys get on, everything's kind of getting situated. You see a couple of crewmates that come over and like kind of like see if you guys need any help or anything along those lines. Other than that, you guys are just loading up onto the ship. You guys are up on the ship. What do you guys want to check out or anything like that? Talk to the cap. What do you want to do?
I'll let
I
you
think
guys go
Millie's
first.
just following
I guess
Thalrin
talk
at
to
this
the
point.
cap. Yeah, we should
Yeah.
talk to the captain.
She's trying to like gently tiptoe around all the ropes and pulleys and like in her little high heel shoes.
I'm not with them when they do this, by the way.
Oh, you're not?
Is it
Okay.
because of the shoes or?
It's not. I thought about it for a second.
Okay, so you guys kind of like go up. Alira's up at just right up at the helm. She's kind of checking to make sure that everything's gone good. She's kind of gone back and forth up the stairs a couple of times to talk to some of the members, and then there's some of the crew members that keep coming up and asking her some questions. And then she just kind of tells them where to go, using some terms that you guys probably haven't heard very often. So,
Hey, real quick, where did you say this was in the world map? Is it part of Sure Stuff?
no, so this is across Sure Stout. So let me see here. So I'll pull up Sure Stout.
Oh, across the bay.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, so the
thank you.
Bay of Selkarn is right, is like all of the bottom area of this map that's on Roll20.
Okay.
And so if you look at where Malmali is, technically it's like right that way all the way down, like probably
Direct
around
south.
there is where it is. I just don't have a full map of the bay yet. So
No, you're fine. I'm trying to put it in reference of the Allandia world map where it where it fits in.
So if it shows Glesher,
Yes, Greshler. Yeah?
yeah, so it's on
Okay, that makes
the
sense.
far right side. There's a tiny little jut out with a little dot. That's
Got it.
Yeah, that's Fairlands
Thank
here.
you. Okay.
Yep, no problem. So yeah, for those who are looking at home, that's not on this, but it will be soon. I have a person making a really nice, pretty-looking map, and when that's done, then it will be put up so that then we can look at everything adjacent to that.
Pretty maps, yay!
Yep.
Yay.
Yep. But right now it looks like it was yeah, just randomly made. So all right. But yeah, so you guys load up. Alira's kind of just like sitting there, and she's as you guys start walking up, she's like, okay, did you guys get everything situated? You guys have everything that you need? All tied is good. So we're about to embark.
Oh, we seem to be all set and ready. But I'll lend a hand if you need any as well. Some of these men look quite questionable.
Although they may be somewhat inebriated, I feel as though they will get their points across and they will do the diligence that they need to. By the time we get out to sea, honestly, once that air starts hitting you consistently, it clears up some of your head pretty quick. So it should be tip-top shape when we would need it.
I also
least.
just wanted to offer my assistance. Maybe not so much on deck, but if you need any help down in the galley, I'm quite the hand at some cooking.
Absolutely. The captain's quarters has our kitchen, so it's pretty open, honestly. So you'll be able to go in there whenever you need to. We do have some supplies, but a majority of it is bread, salt, and salted meats. So we try to make sure that everything will last as long as possible. So that's kind of our go-to, unfortunately.
What's the anticipated length of the voyage?
It'll take about 4 days straight across. Is what it'll take. Gearing, no issues. As of recently, we haven't had too many issues, but there's always case for the sea to do what it wants to. Beside that fact, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to come up and talk to me or any of the other crew members. Gary and Larry are the two that will be in charge of the front mast and the rear mast. So if you have any questions, you can go to them.
I do have a
and then
question. I
Devin-
thought Jerry and Barry were going to be in charge of the front mast.
Nope. Barry, unfortunately, got scurvy. So Barry is no longer going to be here. Literally, like, it looked like he threw up part of his lungs, about 50-ish minutes ago. So we're going to try to have, we want Barry to kind of just get situated on his own. So we have Larry and Gary instead. They're all triplets, so they all know how to work with each other.
Jerry, though? I thought Jerry was... Is he a cousin? He's not a
Jerry's
triplet.
no relation. Jerry's just someone that I hired a while ago. He's going to stay below deck, especially because it seems like he might have fallen ill to something that affected his brain. So he's kind of here for a moral support type of thing. He tells me that he talked to a genie and it's some type of make-a-wish type of thing that he's doing. So I'm going to keep him on here for the meantime, but at some point he should be okay.
He made a wish, and his wish was to be on the ship?
Supposedly. He wants to go see the king's coronation. It's supposedly part of the whole genie wish thing. It's like it seems like there's a group of people that have many genies, and whenever there are people that have been affected by mind flayers or singed by dragons, or they have flesh-eating bacteria of some kind, then they get to go to this place and they're given a genie and they get to make a wish, and then whatever they get to do is part of it.
Yeah, but is it contagious?
As far as we know, it is not. He's been on a couple of other voyages with some other people, and I mean, most of them were already pretty, unsharpened weaponry.
I understand.
So they didn't
Not
get
the brightest candle in the candle shop.
Yeah, they didn't get duller. I'll say that, at least, being around him. So it should be okay.
I have heard at those coronations, though, they have mighty fine fireworks.
Fireworks, did you say?
Fireworks. Yeah.
Okay. Your accent is a little hard for me sometimes. I'm not used to that area. That's not a top spot that I'm used to.
You've never been to Luthesia before?
I have not. So I like sailing, and it would take about 4 months to get to there. And I'd prefer just not doing that. So.
I mean, the weather's really nice, and we have more food that's, how do I say it, not salted.
Yeah. Well, we have the
More
sea,
seasonings.
so.
We believe in sugar.
Yeah. Sugar, that'd be nice. Well, anyway, if you guys have anything, you can talk to Larry or Gary. I would steer clear of Jerry. Let him be. He kind of just needs to work his own thing. I know Taryn is friends with him. I think Taryn gave him like a couple of little rings that probably didn't cost much to him. But other than that, everyone else should be below deck. If you guys would like to stay above deck, completely fine. If you'd rather stay below for the voyage because you get seasick, well, if you do get seasick, come up and just stare at the horizon. You got to keep your eyes on the horizon. Because once you lose that, your brain gets all mushy, and who knows, maybe you'll have to talk to a genie at some point. So other than that, we're all good.
Thank you, Captain.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Captain, so much.
Yep, absolutely. And you do see two, the best way to describe it, bumbling idiots working the ropes to the front mast. They look identical, except for one of them has a nose ring, and then the other one has a pretty decent sized gash along his chin. It's like a scar, so it's healed, but it's definitely like pretty visible. It looks like it didn't heal the proper way, at least. But yeah. Other than that, Captain Lyra kind of sends off a couple of things. She kind of ushers Gary to the back so that he can open up the first mast. The back mast opens up. Ship starts to slowly move out. Kind of taking like a last little look back to see what's going on and to kind of realize you guys are leaving out from civilization, kind of separating off from the area you had been for the past couple of days. It's kind of strange. You see all the same people, all the same characters, and it's kind of weird because that same dog that has the burns is just kind of like chilling out by the dock, staring at you guys. But other than that, you guys start sailing out into the Bay of Selkarn for what is hopefully a very uneventful voyage. And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight. Capping it off. Good amount of time, good character development, good RP, fun stuff, guys. Any last thoughts before we sign off?
By the way, when they were talking to the cap, I'm just up on top of the ship. Just
Okay.
Chill.
Are
Well,
you
we can
like
go
the
into that.
Titanic,
Horizon.
or-
I'm not Titanicing just yet, you know. I'm definitely. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. More
You
than
like keep looking around, like, is nobody looking right now? Is somebody looking at me?
the dog's just staring at me from the dock, just like. No, this was fun. This is definitely fun. I'm excited for the next session.
Okay, good. Well, without further ado, I am Voices, and on behalf of, well, actually, we'll just run through the list the same way that we did. I am Voices.
Oh, I'm Z-Met. I think that's what we're doing here.
Yep. And
I'm
if you-
Magic Moonshot.
Yep.
And I'm Spooner.
Wait, were
And
we
we
saying
will
our real names? My bad.
I mean, we were. I mean, I said Voices. I mean, I guess technically I did.
I thought we were doing it like we did in the intro. You know, it's whatever. That's my bad. I messed it up, guys.
Z-Man.
Z-Met doing Z-Met things over here.
Zeus, Z-Met. I mean, it's like
is the
it's
character.
close.
He's
really
so
am.
invested in the character, he can't even separate himself anymore.
I can't, man.
That's-
Method acting's so
that's
hard.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty
And scene.
There you go. All right. So without further ado, you guys have a great night, and yeah, have fun.
Bye.
Definitely. Thank you.